Professor Amichai Magen.
Thank you, Rabbi Greenberg, and if his Secretary Rice can still hear us, thank you for being here. Friends are tested in times of pain and crisis, and we deeply appreciate your friendship, the friendship of the Biden administration that today made unequivocal comments in support of the state of Israel. אחיי ואחיותיי, ישראלים יקרים, יהודים יקרים. The last 4 days have been some of the most difficult of my life, my family's life. I've lost students. My sister, who lives in the south of Israel, was within just a couple of miles from places where whole families were slaughtered. Babies were killed, people were burnt alive in their homes inside of the state of Israel. We are filled with shock, with disbelief, with anger, shame, embarrassment. How could this have happened? How could this have happened to what we thought were one of the most powerful and competent states in the world when it came to security? How could this have happened? And all those are important questions, and we need to ask those questions. There will be a political reckoning, but not yet. Now we have to win the war. We have to protect the lives of Israeli children and men and women and old age pensioners to make sure that we don't lose any more of our wonderful children and families. I want to say a couple of things about what may be coming. We're starting today the fourth day of the campaign, but in many respects the campaign hasn't yet begun. We hope that this conflict will not escalate, and that Iran and Hezbollah and others in the Middle East will not try to exploit the situation to widen the conflict, but we have to be prepared for that possibility. We hope and pray that the sympathy in the international media that we are currently seeing, it's not complete. There's still a lot of work to be done, I don't like the term hasbara. There's a lot of engagement, work that we must do all the time through social media, through education, in order for people to view Israel as a society of human beings. And to understand that there is no moral equivalence between the state of Israel and Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. There's no moral equivalence. Many times Western audiences simply don't understand the region. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand how human beings can behave in the way that Hamas terrorists and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists have behaved. They don't have the terms of reference. But we need to explain that, and we need to work on that. We have to explain to people who Hamas is: an Islamist, jihadist, so-called resistance movement, a Mukawama organization, the Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood that is not interested in peace, that is not interested in coexistence, that is not interested in a two-state solution, that is interested in slaughtering children, women, and men in order to realize a political goal, which is to establish a dark, oppressive caliphate over the whole territory of Israel, and then to expand it to the rest of the region and the rest of the world. That is the vision of Hamas. That is who we are dealing with. And we need to explain that to people and to educate. And I hope we do that going forward. Rabbi Greenberg mentioned, my name is Amichai Magen. I got the name from the Yom Kippur War. My mom was pregnant with me when my dad was fighting in Sinai as a tank commander in October 1973. And 50 years ago, to the day, we experienced this national trauma. I would argue that the experience of Saturday, October 7th, 2023 will be remembered as a greater trauma than the Yom Kippur War. But I want to remind you, את המנגינה הזאת אי אפשר להפסיק. We did not stop our national tune in 1973, and we will not stop it now. We will not stop it now. With all the trauma, with all the pain, with all the difficulty, which we'll have to work through as individuals, as families, as communities, we will overcome this. The Israeli response to death is to create life. The Israeli response to destruction is to innovate and to build. And that's what we will do. That's what we will do. תהיו חזקים, תהיו פה אחד עבור השני, עבור השנייה, ושנהיה תמיד ביחד. אני אוהב אתכם. עם ישראל חי.